You mentioned Sam Darnold and the whole seeing ghost thing. That was from an October 2019 Monday night game, coincidentally against the Patriots. I think he's lived that down now that he's won a Super Bowl. Not that he had a big day. That's what's amazing about it. He didn't win the MVP. He shouldn't have won the MVP. No, he wasn't robbed. Close. It always, if anything, it airs on the quarterback like Jalen Hurts last year. Like Josh Sweat was arguably more deserving last year than Jalen Hurts. But the quarterback is going to attract the MVP votes, especially when there aren't many people voting. I think it was 20 total votes last year. So Sam Darnold did exercise the demons. He did acquire his redemption. It helped that he joined a team that was ready defensively to have the kind of night that they did. And it also helps that Thursday night game, that epic mid-December 38-37 with the crazy two-point play that was awarded via replay review to the chagrin of Sean McVay, and then the overtime win, the great catch, everything about it. Magical game. Here's Mike Macdonald on that game being the turning point for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, that game was it was interesting because we do try to treat every game like it's the next opportunity for us and keep the kind of the outside noise to a minimum, but that was a big game within the season, and I think we realized in that moment that we were a championship caliber type of team, and we've earned the opportunity to win those types of games, given all the things that happened in that game that didn't go our way. And so I think at that point our team had some resolve, and we even had more belief in who we could become.
Yeah, look, I think that's key. I think when you've got a huge game like that feels like a big deal. Primetime game. It was one of the most entertaining regular season games we'd seen in years. Maybe Bills-Vikings 2022. Maybe the most entertaining game since Chiefs-Rams the Monday night before Thanksgiving in 2018. Yeah. It was an incredible game. And you beat the Rams after the Rams had beaten you. The last loss for the Seahawks was that game against the Rams, 4 interceptions by Sam Darnold. Ernest Jones, the fourth, came out and defended him aggressively with the F-bombs peppered throughout his diatribe. They haven't lost since then. Yeah. So they earned it. It was not a fluke. There was nothing that influenced the outcome of the games beyond the Seahawks showing up and being the better team week after week after week. And they deserve to hoist the trophy. Their second one and their first since 2013. 2 very different teams built by John Schneider. I saw somebody point out on Twitter he's going to end up with a bust in Canton. I think he may already have enough to get there. I know it's not easy for general managers to get in. You got to go through the contributor route where you're competing with owners and any and other non-coaches and non-players. And there was much said over the past week and a lot said on Sunday about the issues with that whole process. But one of these days, Schneider's going to be under consideration for a bronze bust in Canton by building 2 different Super Bowl championship rosters with the same team.
Yeah, and, to do it over the course of time. And it's not like we've seen the Seahawks really, truly bottom out either, right? I mean, even when there were a couple, let's call it lean years under Pete Carroll before they then made the transition to Mike Macdonald, this was still a competitive team for basically all of John Schneider's tenure. So I hope that he continues as Seahawks GM for a very long time. But you're right. I mean, the fact that he's been able to do this, both with Pete Carroll in the early 2010s, and now we see what he's done with Mike Macdonald here, is really awesome. And I think, one of the things that turned that Thursday night game was Rashid Shaheed, right? And I don't know if you can say enough about John Schneider making that deal mid-season to bring in Shaheed, one of the best returners in the National Football League, another great option on the outside as well with his speed, and how that really became an X factor in what they were able to do across the rest of the regular season and in the postseason. I mean, Shaheed was the one who turned that Thursday night game. When the Rams couldn't get anything going offensively, they punted They punt it right to him, and boom, he takes it back. And lo and behold, the Seahawks are right back in it. And honestly, the rest of that game is some of the best I've ever seen Sam Darnold play football. I've been watching him going all the way back to USC, and the fact that he was making some of those throws that throw he made on the right sideline to Cooper Kupp in overtime with pressure right there in his face. I mean, Sam Darnold really elevated his game in order to win that particular contest. And then it just kept him on the upswing for really the rest of the year and in the postseason. So that game, I definitely think, was a turning point for so many reasons. And, when you see Darnold be able to execute the way he was able to against a team that he really struggled against. I mean, going back to even his time with the Vikings, it seemed to give him some sort of confidence that he was then just able to ride out for the rest of the year. And it was really great to see.
To your point about the Seahawks' success under John Schneider, 16 seasons. The worst seasons included 7 wins, 3 7-win seasons. And one of those 7-win seasons resulted in a playoff appearance and a playoff victory over the then defending Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints. So 3 7-win seasons. Most recently, their most wins ever, 14. And along the way, that Thursday night game sparked by Sam Darnold. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.